Hello, friends. So good to see you. It's time for our class. This is the Two Cards webinar where we will look at how cards interact with each other, how one card can clarify a card, how one card can extend the story, how we might combine cards when we see them in spreads. I'm Christiana Gaudet. I am your fairy godmother. And I'm so grateful that you're joining us. If you happen to be watching the replay, we're glad you're here. Hit like and drop a comment and consider subscribing. If you're here live, you will need to subscribe in order to comment, and we hope you do. Hello to everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Special shout out to the members and the moderators. I appreciate all of you. It is so nice to see you all. Let's hop on over to CardCam and let's get going. All right. As you can see, I've got my Wiser Tarot because I think these are images that we're all pretty comfortable with. So one of the reasons I wanted to tackle this topic is because I think we talk a lot about using cards to clarify, but we don't talk about what that is and what that means. And I think that we also talk a lot about like imagining what two cards might mean when they're together. Like, you know, I love the idea of Chariot and Justice being a speeding ticket, right? Have I ever actually seen that happen in real life where I saw those two cards in a spread and said, oh, you know, you just got a speeding ticket? No, that has never actually happened. So I feel like when we talk about how we might work with the cards or how we might read the cards, I think we have to recognize that all of the practice, all of the study, all of the classes only means so much, you know, that we have to take these things and put them into practice. And so today we're going to do some practice and we're going to play with the cards and we'll see how it goes. Anna Kay becoming a member. That's fabulous. So good to see all of you. And I see in the comments a bunch of people are struggling today. Thanks for taking time to be with us. We will try to lighten the energy for you in this hour that we spend together. All right. So let's get going. Let's do it like this. We recognize that we do card combining all the freaking time. We have to, because very rarely do we read just one card. Even on Fridays where I do a single card for you, I want to combine it with the card you got on Monday, right? On Mondays we do a single card. But while I think that a single card pull is a great exercise, I love doing a card of the day, I don't think most of us really do readings with single cards. We do readings with multiple cards. We have different techniques for that, but we do readings with multiple cards. Betty, always feel better after our gatherings. Lumen, also having an emotionally and physically draining day. Glad to be here. Yeah. So sorry for folks going through stuff. But really appreciate you being here and really appreciate you being members as well. And for the members, we do have a members only live stream coming up. I want to say it's next week. So watch for that as well. And if you have a StaarCon 2024 ticket, remember that this weekend we've got lounge events 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. 5 p.m. is Maria and Sunday 5 p.m. is me. So there's that. All right. So what are the circumstances in which we combine cards? Basically, all of them. In a tarot spread, like say you do, let's say, oh, here, I just learned how to do this. Hang on, bye-bye to my face. No, almost bye-bye. There, bye-bye to my face. We did it. Now, let's say you did a tarot spread that was like, here, we'll go like this. We'll do the Seven Sisters, right? Or the horseshoe spread or the rainbow spread or whatever you want to call it. And we're not doing this for anyone in particular. This is just a sample spread, okay? So how might you combine two cards? Like what pairs of cards might you find in a spread, and how might you find pairs of cards in a spread to combine? One is going to be similar position meanings. For example, okay, what are the positions here? Past, present, future. Oh, I missed one. Hang on. Huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I missed one card. There we go. Okay. Past, present, future. Person or, I'm sorry, the significator. Past, present, future, significator. The person you're reading for. Person or energy close to the significator. Problem or obstacle, final outcome. Which cards based on position would you immediately combine? You might do the present with the significator and combine those two cards. So we'll play with that. You might do the future and the final outcome. So we'll play with that. So there may be, in a spread, positions that would just normally combine. It may also be that in a spread, you just see two cards that go together based on they have the same number or they're numerically adjacent. Based on similar images. You know, if I see the 6 of Pentacles and Justice in the same reading, I'm going to say 2 scales, right? Because there's scales in both of those pictures and nowhere else. So what does that mean? What are we weighing out? So there might be a lot of ways we do that. But what happens if we combine these groups of cards? Okay, so who this person is right now. This was who they are right now, and this is who they are at present. So these two cards mean similar things. Let me, hang on 1 second. Let me give you my face back. There we go. Huh. The things I learn. All right. So how would you read the Queen of Wands reversed to talk about who a person is at this current time? Let me know. Go ahead and chat it in, but tag it QW so I know that's what we're talking about, because we're going to move pretty quickly. What would you say? So what would you say about the Queen of Wands reversed just on her own, without the other card? So Betty, you're saying she's manipulating and stalking your Facebook, but this is the person you're reading for. Like, this is your client or you yourself, right? This is the significator and where they are at this current time. So you're not going to say that to the person. You're not going to say, wow, you are a very manipulative person and you're doing social media stalking as well. Could those two cards mean that? Absolutely. But what are you going to say, first of all, about this person, Queen of Wands reversed? And I did love that, Betty. That was pretty good. Manipulating and stalking your Facebook. Yep, there you go. So, Queen of Wands, what might you say? You might say, she's disordered and chaotic. Her energy or fire is drained. She's not feeling nurtured. She's not feeling confident. She's just not feeling it. She's not feeling very much passion for life. She's not on top of her own creative energy. Her creativity is stuck. We wonder if she's taking care of herself. We wonder if she's feeling upside down, if she's lost her passion. She feels out of her element. I love all of that. Thank you. I didn't say anyone's name or thank anyone for being members in the interest of moving quickly, but thank you to all of you. That was good. So now, and tag this. Well, let's do it individually. Her own personal energy is paused. Okay, now, and you're going to tag this PS, because we're going to bring the Page of Swords in and interpret that in its position alone. Ha, Diana, obviously I just can't lurk no matter how exhausted I am. Right, because we're compelling, we're compelling. All right, so this position was who she is at this current moment. No, it wasn't. It was her present. So yes, past, present, future, this is her present. This is what's going on at present. Excuse my misspeak. What's going on at present? Peter the Field Swans are compelling. So what would you say to a person or to yourself if the Page of Swords reversed is what's going on at present? Hey, Dina, good to see you. Tag it PS. It's the Page of Swords reversed, what's going on at present. What might you say to this? Not thinking about the Queen of Wands right now, but just this card is an individual card in the position of present. This is where we're at present. Now, so Peggy Lou, unable to communicate the way she wants. She's wondering about school, perhaps. Her messages are cloudy and unclear. She's struggling to find words in a new situation. She can't focus. Her mind feels discombobulated. She has confused and scattered thoughts. Being of the Fields would encourage her to tap into free thinking and being open-minded. Her logical mind is not clear. She's not using her voice. She's indecisive. Her world is turned upside down. Maybe she's bitchy. She's dealing with a troubled child, or maybe she herself is a troubled child, right? Could be either, absolutely. I was liking internet stalking, I have to say. I like that too. But I don't know that defines a person's present. But I did like it as an interpretation for the card, I got to tell you. All right, so now, what happens when you put the two of them together? Neither one of them would have more weight. It's not a, this completes the story. It's not a, this clarifies that. It's these two cards together. Doesn't matter what order they're in, these two cards together. How would we combine these two cards to describe ourselves or the person we're reading for? Oh, mother and child in conflict. Maybe there's a family issue, and that could be a 50-year-old woman and her 80-year-old mother. It could be a 25-year-old woman and her 5-year-old child. I mean, it could really be of any age, but sure it could be. Absolutely. Justine, this is interesting. Before, just a few more on the Page of Swords on its own that are pretty smart. Embrace a child's mind, received bad news, brain fog. She doesn't like being the new person or being the beginner. Those were all good, I thought, for this. Putting these two together. Claire C. Overthinking is drawing her energy. I like that. Overthinking is drawing her energy. Very good. In order to ignite her energetic fabulousness, I love you, Serena, she must embrace her child's mind and freedom of thought and go for it. Good stuff, good stuff. Miscommunication and strife in other people's communication is draining her energy. Sure. So that's one way we combine cards. Now let's do it again, and here's the twist. This time it's predictive from that same spread for this person who doesn't exist. Dina says feeling down and out. Yeah, absolutely. So from this same spread about a person who doesn't exist, we pulled out these two cards because both of the positions are predictive. Hey, Marion, good to see you. So this was the future prediction, and this is the final outcome. Is that how it was, or was it the other way? Was it this way? I don't remember. I think it was this way. Well, we'll play with it that way. It's all theoretical anyway, so we'll play with it like that. Okay, so starting with, let's say the King of Swords comes up in the future. What prediction does the King of Swords reversed? Oh, it was this way. Okay, thank you, Jeannie. I thought I might have been wrong. Let's do it that way. Yeah. Thank you, Jeannie. Okay, we'll do this. This is the future. This is in the first three cards, past, present, future. This is the future card. If you see the Five of Wands describing the future of yourself or someone you're reading for, what are you going to say? Okay, and about the King of Swords, reverse, because I switched them up. Diana says, authoritarian who is a bad leader and communicator causing chaos and strife. Fair, totally fair. Be in the field, Serena. Be okay with the confusion. Take the time. There is going to be that. Yeah. I mean, there is something coming up, right? We see something in the near future that could be some conflict, some confusion, some difficulty. Right, strife is coming. Are you competing in some area of your life, struggling with creative conflict? Conflict is coming, absolutely. So one thing I will often say with the Five of Wands, just so it's not so ominous, and because I do believe this is true, is the Five of Wands is a necessary step on the process to success. So when I see this coming, I also know that, after the 5 comes the 6, which is the card of victory. So this is necessary on the way. All right. So now, right, the next card is victory. It's exactly. Lumen, it could be an inner conflict, maybe because she is presently also Wands, right? Right. One of many job candidates, competition for a new position will be settled by an authority figure. Right. I love this. Okay, talk about card combining. Y'all remembered that the significator was indeed the Queen of Wands, and so that makes this more important. Because if you're the Queen of Wands and we've got this going on, that ties it in. Very good job. I am so proud of you. A necessary deconstruction in order to succeed. It's a messy, chaotic situation, not a negative one necessarily. Okay, now, let's do the King of Swords as final outcome. In the final outcome position, you're reading for another person or you're reading for yourself. The King of Swords reversed is in the final outcome position. Without looking at any of the other cards, what might you say about this? Oh, the storm before the calm for this. Yeah, I love that. All right. So the final outcome, what do we say about the final outcome? With the King of Swords reversed, if we were talking about a relationship, this does not bode well for the relationship. If I'm reading for someone who's involved with a man, it would not bode well for the relationship. I would say that. Oh, very good, Marion. Keep your mouth shut until you hear all sides of the situation. Okay, but I want you all, I'm seeing some good things, but I want you to put it into context. The context is, this is the final outcome. So, own your own domain. Be mindful of influences that are not yours. That's not a bad final outcome. That's a good wording for a final outcome. Diana sees a leader who can't articulate expectations and is unorganized. So at that point, we might be talking about the job, the church, wherever this is, and say, you're going to deal with some issue with leadership. Stephanie says the final outcome is just leave. Angelic Michelle, so good to see you. Communication is blocked and may not resolve the way they want. Find another job. Be clear on your communications. Not claiming your power in the situation. So, is there a male who's cold and controlling, and what role is he playing in the future, right? That's a whole question. Okay, good stuff. So now, and I think y'all have already kind of come to it, right? Now, we can really put these two together, and once again, It's not a clarification. One is not clarifying the other. It's just both of these are future cards. Now, it's possible these are two different situations, right? It's possible, okay, you're going to have some conflict in your life. Okay, say you're going to have some conflict in the creative project you're working on. And you're going to stop talking to this dude. You know, those could be two separate things. But it could also be about the same thing. Oh, interesting. Justine is bringing back the Page of Swords reversed, recognizing we've got a Knight of Swords reversed and a Page of Swords reversed. That was smart. Good, good, good. Diana, speak up to stop the conflict. So we are thinking that like the final outcome may be that there is a need for a change. There is a need to be very mindful. Right, we got that. Okay, so that's one way that we combine cards, right? We combine cards in spreads. But what about that thing that we do where we clarify, where we pull a card to clarify? What are we really doing when we're clarifying? Now, sometimes we might ask a specific question. You know, we might say, tell me what area of life this is in. So let's play with that. Again, totally hypothetical. We're not reading for anyone. But suppose... Oh, there you go. My client needs to do a GoFundMe and check into an ashram for a bit. I love that. That was good. Very good. All right. So suppose you pulled this card and you're like, okay, Magician reversed. So maybe I am not using my tools and skills well. Maybe I'm not listening. Maybe I'm not communicating well. Maybe I'm not in my power. But suppose none of that is resonating for me. So I'm going to pull a card to clarify it. Very often we are taught, just pull a clarifying card. I think sometimes it's helpful to ask a question to say, well, what area of my life is this speaking about? And now we know it's communication. Yes, it is reversal night, isn't it? And Jeannie, combining is pretty new for you. Good, good, good. So clearly now we know it's about communication, right? But suppose we said, what area of my life is it? Oh, now we know it's in a relationship. It's a problem in the relationship. Problem in the relationship. So now what? Now we know it's in the job. So I'm going to say that if we're doing specifically a card to clarify, rather than just saying this clarifies it or this is the clarifier, ask the clarifier a question. Whatever it is, like what is it that you don't know about this card that needs clarification? And ask a specific question of the next card. Does that make sense? Check in with me and tell me that makes sense, because that's big and it's against the normal canon. The normal canon is just like, and this clarifies it, which in my mind is not as helpful as asking that specific question, right? Okay, Dina says perfect sense. Serena says perfect sense. Jeannie says yes, thanks. Okay, good, 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 good. Now, let's go back to playing with some other ways. Yes, especially if it's specific. Makes sense, never tried it. Yep. Yeah. And suppose you're like, okay, what area of my life is this in? And the cards aren't doing the answer for you. You're not finding it. You could try a different question. Like, I don't care how many cards you pull to come up with the answer, right? All right, so now, what if we're continuing the story? Okay? Let's play with this. This is what's happening right now. This is what's happening right now. Okay, so Tag it, PW, and tell me in context what is happening right now. Page of Wands, what is happening right now? Page of Wands, PW, what is happening right now? When do I reshuffle? When I'm teaching, who the heck knows? When I'm reading, quite often, pretty much between each question once I'm doing a dialogue. Oh, I love this. Dina, I did a fun thing, intentionally used the magician and pulled a card for what is my magic. So you activated the magician. That's beautiful. Okay, so here we go. What's happening right now? We're starting a new project. We're excited about something. We have a new creative project or inspiration. We're finding our own light. We're creating our authentic energy space. We know the way to start some journey, but we don't know what to do. We're recharging. We're tapping in and seeing a creative endeavor unfold. All of that is so good. All of that is so good. So go with any of those storylines. That's all so good. And, there's a lot of similarity there, I think. So now, what happens next? This is what we're doing. What happens next? Tag it 3, because it's the Empress, and tell me what happens next. We're going on an adventure to a warm climate. Come to StaarCon. I could say something dirty, but I'll behave for once. We create. and beat in the fields. This is the first wand in all the wands that the figure actually looks at the wand. A new creative project. So talk to me about that, right? Because it really does go well. Like here, we're thinking and talking and planning the creative project, and here we're bringing it forth, right? Lisa says it's a new garden. We build a garden. Good. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. A child goes to their mother for inspiration. Good. I love that. I love that. A mentor emerges to help you create. We were looking at our wand and then we got pregnant. Okay. The Empress is ruled by Venus, so the endeavor will be luxurious. A new venture is born. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Planting the seed and giving birth to the child or project. Authentic versus figurative creating, making our true and whole space, which is a perfect match with the Empress. That's beautiful. I love that so much. Okay, let's switch it up. Okay, we remember what the Page of Wands was doing. This is what we're doing. This is what happens next. Okay, tag it AS, Ace of Swords, and tell me what happens next. Now what happens? We're talking about and planning and learning and thinking about something creative. We have a new plan, defining the details of the plan. We are in the clear. We're excited about a new class here. We have clarity on where to start. The project is part of your spiritual journey, a new plan for the future. Okay. Inspiration for a new project. Okay. So this in many ways just affirms this, doesn't it? This is sort of like, yeah, you got it, right? You're affirming. Connecting with the divine. Okay, let's try it again. This is where we are. What happens next? Okay. Have fun with that. Tag it 14. Oh, Dina, for the sword. Cutting it into bite-sized pieces. That's smart. I like that. So many good stuff. Y'all are so smart. The Ace of Swords realizes the truth and the reality of the project. Right, shit just got real. Ooh, that's good. That's good. All right, what do we do with Temperance now? Tell me what we do with Temperance as I get us set up for the next round, which requires a little more thought. Okay, so here we have equilibrium, peace, ease, and grace. So there's a lot of space for this person to do what they want to do. Dina sees this as a warning. Don't overextend. Yeah, be passionate about it, but don't overextend. In the beginning, you're fired up, but you have to find balance and move carefully. We're now an oratory in court. Interesting. I like it, Lisa. Balance between work and life. After the idea incubates, the parts come together for success. You're being guided in your new creative project, going back and forth between action and pause. Don't overextend your enthusiasm. See, what I would say is you go gather the things that you need for the project. That's what I would be doing here. Is here we've got, like, we've figured out the project, we know what to do with it, and now we're going to go gather the ingredients. That's what I'd be doing. The idea takes off. We have alchemy. It takes off. It grows into something. Sure. All of that is good. Absolutely. Now, it's going to get fun now. You ready? Okay. Thank you, Justine. Do. There you go. Okay, give me. Okay, this is what's happening right now. For you or for your client, again, we are being hypothetical. I chose it intentionally. This is what's happening right now. So what's happening right now? Tag it 16 and tell me what's happening. Claire, oh, expletive. Right. What's happening right now? What do we say about this? Hey, Wendy, good to see you. What do we say? What's happening right now? There's a breakthrough or a breakdown. Everything is falling apart. A big but unexpected change. Mind your foundation and take care of yourself. It's not bad, but a breakthrough that needs attention. Someone's going through a divorce. The foundation is crumbling. Change is coming. There's chaotic upheaval. All right. So now, let's play with some different kinds of Peggy Lou. It's a shit show, but right now, also could be a spiritual awakening, upheaval, forced change. Very good. Dino friends, good to see you. So. Let's play with this a few different ways. Let's do the clarifying method. Now, would we want to ask the question to clarify? Would we want to ask the question in what area of life, or would we want to ask something else? With something this big, I might want to clarify in a couple of different ways. I might want to start with, okay, what area of life? In what area of life do I need to look out for this? Okay. So this one is hard for me because is that money? Is that my job? Is that a man in my life is going to be a problem or have a problem? Right. Job, security, partner, it could be any. So I would need to pull another card to get more. Oh, sorry, thank you. I would need to pull, an issue with real estate, it could be. So I'm going to pull another card to say, okay, we got to narrow that down a little more. Unless, okay, if I was reading for someone and their father was really sick, I would be like, that's what we're dealing with. If I was reading for someone and their job was really bad, like I would use evidence to say, okay, that's what that is. But if I really didn't know, do I shuffle? Yeah, I usually shuffle before I pull anything. Yes. I'm not, just to speed up the class, I'm not, because we're not actually reading, but yeah. Light prevails, good to see you. Letting things that need to fall away, including my fears. How do I manage my own garden so that in the garden, it's me? Self-care for the best of my self-good as I am in this life. Very good. Finances or male with influence in finances. So let's see, what might it be? So it feels like what's really happening here is what needs to change, what needs to deconstruct is something in the client's mind, either regarding a particular man, money, or work. And so from there, I think you can it's a mindset. Absolutely. Absolutely. So now we know, right? There's how that works. Absolutely. Releasing the worry of not feeling secure, breaking away from a man who seemed ideal but isn't. Escaping from a bad marriage. Yeah, sure. Any of those things. Absolutely, yes. So now, let's do something else. Let's say, here we are now. This is what's going on. So in a case like this, we already know. Like, if you're already in the shit and you pull the tower, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, I knew that. And we've all been in this, right? Whether it's been what's happening around us or in our own mind or whatever. So now, this is where we are now. What's the next card we would want to pull? What's the next card we would want to pull? Would we want to say, what do I need to know about this? Would we want to say, how do I mitigate this? Would we, what would we want to say, what happens next? What more do I need to know? I think there's a lot of questions we could ask for a next card. Help me through this. More info. Right. What else do I need to know? What's going to help me with this? How can I deal with this? Yeah. What do I need to know? Absolutely. All righty. What are we doing with this? What do we do with this? What do we need to know? So I would look at this and say, hey Della, good to see you. How do these two things go together? Like on one hand, they're both major arcana cards in the final septenary. So this really could be spiritual. This really could be a spiritual deconstruction. It really could be. Stephanie says, well, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. After the breakdown comes repair, says Jeannie. Unexpected happy ending, says Michelle. So there is just sort of this predictive thing of don't worry, it will be okay. You'll get through this and it will be okay. It could be it's going to be a struggle, but then you're going to move to a beautiful place where the sun shines more. A shift in perspective, sure. What if, I love this, Catherine. This is good. What if the sun is saying you need more clarity in this situation? You need to shine a light on this situation. You need to know more. And, that can mean pull more cards, but it can also mean talk to the people involved. Do the research. It can mean do the mundane things to find out more. You need more information. That's kind of brilliant. I love that. Focus on the good, not the bad. Absolutely. Because positive interpretations seem like more results-based. Yeah, fair. Yeah. All right. Now, what if this was a card in a spread, undetermined position, and this is a card in a position that mitigates it? Oh, will you look at that? I did draw that at random. So what would you now say if we're just combining the meanings of these two cards? How does this card mitigate or change what you're going to say about the tower? Jeannie, with multiple interpretations, how do you choose which one is right for a reading? A lot of it is intuition. It's intuition and context. Those are really the two things. And if you're really not sure, you give every possibility and then decide from there. Like I will even say, write down every possibility, cross out the ones that don't make any sense, and then circle the ones that do. Dina, quit smoking. There you go. Wendy, addictive behavior leading to problems in life, going through withdrawal. It will be rough, but you'll get through it. In order to build a truly new foundation, you must first release the source of toxicity. Justine, yeah, for sure. Your patterns and habits are not serving you. You need a new language. Different paths and different patterns are the solution. Being released from a prison, metaphorically or for real. Breaking free from a bond or addiction. Yeah, absolutely. Breaking through, absolutely. Letting go of attachments, fears, addictions, imbalances in judgment, indulgences, letting go. I can't quit you, babe. Yeah, right. I would say it has to do with overindulgence or spending, maybe overworking for maternal benefits, but not aligning with spiritual connection. Breaking free from the life you built and letting go of the materialism and greed. Divorcing oneself from. Yeah, good. Okay. Same exercise. We're just mushing two cards together. Now what? What are we doing now? The Tower and the Nine of Cups. What are you going to say about those two cards together? I have some thoughts, but I want to see what you say first. Resurrection. Sure. Sure, excuse me. Your wish will come true. Turned out to be a blessing. Yeah, and I can just see me saying that at the table. You know, this is really hard now, but this is going to be a blessing. Just wait. Just wait. The fall will end up being good for you. Doors will open to good things. Light prevails. The Tower is the key to rebuilding. Yeah. Unexpected good turn of events. Good things are coming after the fire. Yeah. And it does feel like, you know, you got to break it down to build it up. It does really feel that way. Letting go is the key to rebuild and amass blessings. Relief from a negative something. Wishes fulfilled will occur after feelings of destruction. Blessing in disguise. Insurance payout. Oh my gosh, that's funny and yeah, fair. Maybe it's about redemption. Sure. So we can see how the cards speak to each other and how they sort of change the flavor. You will be made whole, right? And then that's what we say with an insurance payout, right? That's what we say. All right. So, how else do cards combine in a reading? Let's go back to a spread. I wish I had brought a smaller deck, but I didn't. Let's go back to a spread, and I'll take my face away again. And let's do the Seven Sisters again because I can sort of fit it into the screen. But we're going to talk about different things. We're not going to talk about the positions this time. We'll talk about the cards that came up, which you all started doing anyway before, looking at the swords and the wands together. That's the kind of thing we're going to be doing here again, to look at how the cards speak to each other. Oh my gosh, Justine, upheaval for the masses is good for business. Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. Right? It's like the tail wagging the dog. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now we won't even worry about the positions. We've got Lovers reversed, Four of Cups, Star, Ten of Wands. Right, Diana, war is good for business, exactly. Knight of Swords, Queen of Cups, Three of Pentacles. All right. So just based on the cards themselves, based on where in the deck they come from, based on their numbers, based on their images, do you see some cards that you would want to, like, you'd want to interpret in position, right? So let's just interpret this in position for the person we don't know. So in the past, you have not always had really great self-esteem, and you've had some issues trusting your own decisions. This has caused issues in relationships. At present, I'm thinking you don't even really know what you want to do right now. You're not happy with the options in front of you. But I have to tell you, as we look toward the future, I really think things are going to turn around for you, and we're going to talk about how that's going to happen. The thing is, right now, you are feeling so overburdened. You don't recognize your own strength. You really are strong. And it looks like you've got a person who is helpful to you, or at the very least, you have some good goals that you are pursuing that are helpful. The problem primarily seems to be emotional. But here's the thing. As we look toward the future, we see financial improvement, we see career improvement, and we see you doing the work for your own emotional improvement. Okay, that was like the quickest ever just to get that through, showing you how I would interpret the positions, right? Now, talk to me. All that said, talking about you again. Yes, I am, Lisa. Talk to me, looking at these cards, once interpreted in positions, what pairs would you pull out to get more information? We've already talked about the pairs that come naturally based on similarity of position. But what about similarity of cards? Now, for example, there are no, like, we don't see court cards in the same suit family as we had before. We don't see anything of the same number. We do see two majors. Oh, interesting. Okay, a couple of things. Okay, so what do we have? Right, I always have you put the future cards together. Right, we did that in the first exercise. But ignoring those positions, just looking at the cards themselves. Okay, here we go. Lumen sees the Queen of Cups and the Star as similar. So we could pull those out and talk about them together. So, how would you look at the Queen of Cups and the Star? What would these two things say? I would look right away and say healing, emotional healing. There is emotional healing here. That's good. Now, a couple of you are saying the cups. We have two cups cards. Let's play with those. All right. What does, and I'm going to ask you for this, if you put the Queen of Cups and the Four of Cups together, what can you tell us about this person and their life? Knowing what you already know, what can you tell us? What more can you give us about this person and their life if you look at the Queen of Cups combined with the Four of Cups and go? Not accepting an offer of love. Fair. That's good. What else? Maybe we're introverted. Sure, the social energy might be introverted. There's a hole in the heart. Sure. And so this is a way that we add information to a reading, to a spread. Not feeling satisfied by the blessings we have in abundance. We're closed off. Hidden realms. All right, good. Now, the need to move on from emo hurts. Yeah, seriously. That's good. Now, let me tell you what I would do. Disconnect to one's emotion. Yeah, the Lovers and the Star are also similar for me. Absolutely. Focusing on past emotional pain, yes. And the Lovers and the Star, of course, both major arcana. So we're going to play with that one in a minute. But let me show you one I would play with too. This is a little offbeat, but let me show it to you. I would also do this. What is she doing here? I would do the Lovers and the Four of Cups because they can both be about not trusting our own decision making or the decisions we don't want to make or not being happy about our options when it comes to decisions. Like, it's both difficult decisions. So this could be a person who is like regretting decisions of their past. This could be a person who's facing difficult decisions. Oh, what's going on with Taylor at the convention? Diana? whole other thing. Is Taylor Swift at the convention or is she not? That's what we all want to know. Anyway, oh, they were playing Taylor Swift music. Yes, very good. All right. So, right, choices. Right. And so I would play with that a lot. Now, yes, pink is there for sure. I love pink too. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Oh, with this, you were seeing Lisa Harmon breaking up and not letting go. Yeah, totally. Okay. What are you going to do with this? The two major arcana cards. Lovers reversed and the Star. Why decisions? The Lovers very often speaks to our choices. When you look at the Lovers, what's going on here? He is looking at her, she's looking at the angel. We're making choices. And when we look at the Lovers, we see the differentiation between one and the other, male and female, this and that. And you choose between them. So there's a lot here about choices. This also, there's a choice. Should this person take this cup, this cup, this cup, this cup? Or are they doing the right thing by being like, I do not like any of these cups, I'm taking 0. 0 cups for me, thank you. Is this person making the right decision there, or do they need to just take a freaking cup? All of that. This whole evening has been about that, right? Right. All right, now, let's go back to Lovers reversed and the Star. So one thing that's interesting about these two cards, not only are they both major arcana, they're both related to the element of air. And they're both surprising air cards, right? You would not expect either of them to be air cards, but they are. So, what would you say about the combination of the Lovers reversed and the Star? What would you say about those two things together? It could be, and someone was talking about like the choice to let go, the choice to heal, and how hard that is, the choice to see the damage and heal. And I see a lot of that here, where choosing yourself. Sure, I choose me. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Healing of relationship with self or other, absolutely. Many fish in the sea. Find your truth and you will shine. Finding your personal compass. If asked day or night, then the night wins. That's fun. I love that. A transition from clouded to clear and intentional thinking, pessimism to optimism. Smart. I love it. So what do we learn here? Okay, we've learned a few things. We have learned that cards speak to each other, and there are, hang on, where are we going? There we go. Hello. We've learned that cards speak to each other, and that there are many ways to let them speak to each other. We've learned that intuition is part of that and context is part of that. We've learned with clarifiers, asking a specific clarifying question rather than just saying, and this card clarifies it, will bring better results. And we've learned that in a position spread, you can combine cards together to get more meanings, and we combine those cards based on similar positions and based on similarities that we find in the spread. Now, let me go back and thank you for your kind words. We have like 4 minutes, so whatever questions or comments you have, get them in. I want to show you one other thing. I'm going to go back to this. Okay. Thank you so much for your kind words. So, and for those of you who are new to this channel, we do live readings here like 4 times a week. We do classes and meetups here a few times a month. Please do, I mean, you're already subscribed, but please do hit that bell and join us. So I want to show you one more thing. If you are doing a spread that is really 3D in its graphics, for example, I'm going to do my 11 card Celtic Cross, which you're not really going to be able to see all of, but I think I'm going to be able to do a subset of that you can see to make my point. So you know how in a Celtic Cross, for example, and I mean this could be with any position spread, you know how there are cards that will graphically, the position names aren't important one to another, but they'll graphically line up. So like here, there's this whole line of cards. Their positions are not significant one to another, but they're on the same line. So graphically, I would look at them. Likewise, these two are on the same line. So graphically, I would look at them, right? And I would want to pull them out and say, how do these two speak to each other? So that's, I think, another thing that happens is when we look at graphic positioning, that matters too. All right. So an exercise that you can do to play with this is like a 3-card reading, but you don't pull all the cards at once. This is who I am. This is who I am right now, this minute. This is something that I need to know. And so then you can interpret that in that position and then put these two things together. This is who I am. This is something that I need to know. Like that, right? Ah, Peggy Lou, that is a very old-timey thing to do. I like that. Looking at who's, like, what direction are people looking at? So like here, they're both looking forward in this direction. Yep, that's absolutely a thing as well. Also part of the graphic representation. So lots of ways for cards to combine. This only scratches the surface. I would like you, yeah, that's wild stuff, seriously. Ah, from that last reading, Dina, it's slow going as you're not emotionally invested. Yes, seriously. All right, my friends, I really appreciate you. Right, yeah, we will definitely do a part 2 on this. In fact, this is kind of an ongoing conversation that we have where we get together and play these games. I was going to do a 3-card reading and I didn't make up a third. Card, did I? So first card, who you are at this time. Second, something that you need to know. And third, something you have to look forward to. There you go. There's your 3-card reading. But you can make these up. You know, the idea is you want to not put them all out at once, but do it in a way where the cards easily combine. First one card, see it on its own. Second card, read it on its own, combine the 2. Third card, read it on its own, now combine it in with the 3. All right. My friends, I appreciate you. You will see the link is already up for tomorrow. I will be back at 12 noon to do the Friday weekly wrap-up, where we do readings on the week that was. And on Saturday at noon 30 Eastern time, all my times are Eastern because I'm here near West Palm Beach, Florida. Noon 30, Saturday, Saturday Psychic Sampler, ask specific questions and we do readings. Remember, StaarCon is coming in January. There is a link in the description to learn more about StaarCon. Find out about StaarCon and plan to join us in person or online. Thank you all so very much. I really appreciate you all. Thanks to the members, thanks to the moderators. Welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you, and the new members. Thank you all very much. Have a great evening.